The Bamboo Project Podcast starts in 3, 2.
Welcome to the Bamboo Project Podcast. My name is DonivanG, the future $10 billion man. On the way to 10 billion, I decided I'm going to help create 1,000 millionaires, including myself. And not by being a guru or selling a course, but by doing the things I already love to do every day and documenting the journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is DonivanG, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. I'd like to start off by giving a shout out to all the people rocking with us and supporting the channel. We really appreciate you. We are currently streaming on all major streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor. You name it, we on it. And if we not on it, we about to be on it. For everyone listening to this podcast and not watching it, you can find us on YouTube at The Bamboo Project. We have over 400 videos on our channel. Do you want to learn real estate? We got that. Do you want cooking tutorials inspired by Dr. Sabi? We got that. Do you want travel and lifestyle vlogs? Got it. Hair, makeup, got it. Basketball, got it. Turo, got it. It's everything us. All the parts of the journey that don't make it to YouTube will be on our story. You can find me on Instagram at DonivanG, DonivanGray, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. The Bamboo Project is about turning your life into a living by making money off the things you already do every day. We made different playlists for all the things we're into, and you can find all of those links in the description box below. This may be your first time here, and if it is, welcome to the family. But for everyone else, this is chapter 3, page 127. Okay, this podcast has 4 different segments. We have the life update, episode playback, Donovan's questions, and the topic of the day. All video and audio timestamps will be in the description box below. Today's date is August 23rd, Tuesday, August 23rd, and it is 1:46 p.m. All right, so you have a lot to talk about this week. A lot of things happening. Probably I can tell by the title also. But before we get into that, we know everybody's favorite time of the podcast. Woo, yay, woo wee. It's screen time, okay? And I always say, if I am not taking advantage of my phone, then my phone is taking advantage of me. So to prevent that, I check my screen time every week to see what I'm spending my time on and where my time is going. So for last week, okay, I spent an average of 8 hours and 53 minutes on my phone per day. Okay. The 25 hours is on YouTube, 12 hours is on Google Maps, and 10 hours is on Instagram. Interesting. I feel like they should put YouTube in like the research category because it's not entertainment. It's like,
Now you be entertained.
It's no. I'll be laughing. I laugh at the education. The education is so exciting that I laugh. I picked up my phone on average 107 times per day. And my first used app after pickup was YouTube. So, babe, what was your screen time like for last week?
7 hours and 2 minutes.
Addiction. Clearly you have an addiction.
What number you said?
Don't worry about it. You should have heard it. You should have heard it earlier. Like you got to check out. Gotta see a therapist about that.
So my most used app was Google Maps at 10 hours and 4 minutes, then Instagram for 9 hours, then TikTok for 6 hours, and then I found this new game that I've been playing. It's called Fill the Fridge, and I've been playing that for 5
hours a day.
4 hours.
A day.
Not a day, for the week, 4 hours.
Oh. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's 4 hours a day. Knowing you. I know you.
You the one with the
I am researching and doing.
15 hours.
I am researching the marketplace. Okay, we're on YouTube. I research it. I'm studying thumbnails. I'm studying titles. I'm studying video edits. Okay, thank you very much. I'm learning about what we're doing. I'm learning about SEO and things. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. I'm researching, watching interviews, research. I'm just letting you know, and everybody else know. Okay. So this week I can't say this week, but this podcast has a lot of things to talk about because last week we did not get to go over those things. Y'all know why. The comments was on fire last week. Hot fire in them comments last week. But I'm trying to figure out what I should start with today. Okay, you know, I'm gonna start with this. I'm starting with this. Okay, so as you can already tell by the title, okay, as of tomorrow, the house will be officially listed publicly for someone to buy the house. Now, let's clap it up, everybody. Okay, now here's the thing. As much as I love you guys, right? Y'all know me. I want to come with all the information. I want to bring. If it was up to me, I would post the link in the description, which is what I want to do, right? So I guess if you DM me, I can send it to you, right? But here's the thing: if y'all been here for about a year or so, you know we got some people on our ass because we had a loan that we had for the house to finish it, right? So because of that, I am choosing not to put the link out right now. And like I said, if you hit me up, I'll just, we could set something up like that. But I guess even the pictures, I can't put the pictures up. People like Sarah, shout out to Sarah, she's seen it. Who else might have seen it? I don't think I might send it to Amelia. I don't think I sent it to Amelia. I can send it to Emmanuel, Maxine. Send it to her. I'm sending it to some people that I have their number. But I definitely, like I said, I'm not going to put it up here. I have to check something out first before I put it up. So I'm going to put it up at some point, but not this episode. So, but it is done. The house is 100% finished and on the market. We passed our final inspection. We should be getting our certificate of occupancy, otherwise known as a CO, in the next maybe week or so. So everything is done. We are complete done with the house. We put up the fence. We passed the inspection with the fence, even with it being a little bit higher than normal. The pictures came out amazing, phenomenal, and I think me and Melissa are confident that we can get more for the house than what it's currently listed at. Okay, we think based off the area, based off of the other properties in the area, and how our house looks, we're very confident. Now, here's the other thing about it. I also think that when you look at the picture of our house, right? When you see the picture, did Sarah see it? I think she saw it. I think that when you first see the picture, you won't know what city you're in. Like, you will be surprised that you're like, oh, that's outside. Like, that's how nice it looks. Like, you're like, oh, I can't tell exactly what city this place is in. So listen, y'all know all the struggles we've been through with this house from last year, April, to now, whether it be with the contractor, whether it be not having money, with family not helping, then family helping, then getting the loan, then going out to Philly, then getting robbed multiple times at the house. Things breaking, things not working, emotional contract, bro. The list goes on and on and on. We have 150 some episodes of craziness of dealing with this contractor, dealing with just every nook and cranny of this is up on the podcast, and we are finally done. So that's one of the reasons why last week we were kind of talking about what we're going to do next, because at that point in the podcast, I think we were emotionally done with the house. Like, me and Melissa were like, okay, we went to the house, we put up the fence, we're like, we're done, we have nothing else to do. But then we had a photographer, well, not we, but our agent had a photographer go to the house, and he took some pictures. And then in one of the pictures, I noticed there was water in the basement. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? We thought we fixed it. There was no water for weeks, almost maybe a month and a half now. There was no water. So, like, how is there water now in the basement? So what we think happened was that one of the outlets was turned off. Outlets, or the switch on the electric panel was turned off, so the pump for the dehumidifier was not working. So it was filling up with water, but it wasn't pumping it out. So it just kept filling up. That's what I told you that he told me that today. Did I tell you that he told me that today? So what happened was the pump was not on. So the water was just filling up, and because it had the pump, what would you call that? The pump function allows it to just collect air all the time, as opposed to the other ones where it just turns off after it hits a certain number. So because of that, it's not pumping, it's just filling up and pouring out. So that's what was happening. Now that the pump is on, we figured it out. The water is, I don't know if it's gone. It should be dried up by now, but it's not an issue. There's no water coming from anywhere else. We're good. So like I said, that was the last thing. And then getting the CO, because the guy had said that the drain in the backyard, that's why we didn't pass the last inspection, was because they put the wrong drain in. So they had to go back and put the right one in. They put the right one in. The guy came back, the inspector, and we passed. So we're, like I said, we're done. We have nothing else left to do for the house. What I want to do, I don't know how we'll do it because we're still broke and trying to figure things out. But I want to have like some type of, I don't know what it would be. Maybe like a Zoom, something. I don't know. I don't really like the idea of a Zoom. I don't know, something. But just like everybody that helped us out throughout the whole process, then we'll go and like get some champagne. I don't know when or how or whatever. But this has been such a monumental time of me and Melissa's life, and I think we have grown so much, learned a lot. It's been through like very emotional time. Like a lot of stuff has happened because of this, and it's also eclipsed our entire life. Like every single thing that we have has been affected by the house. Our credit score, the money we have, where we live, where we want to live, any other business we have, eating food, doing laundry, cleaning, showering, sleeping, sex, everything by the house has been taken over by the house. So now that it's finally off of us, we are like, hey, we're going full steam ahead. Now, as you also probably saw in the title, because this title, right, I wasn't trying to fit. I don't really know how I'm gonna write it yet. I know what I want to put in it, but I don't know what it's gonna say. So by the time y'all see it, me right now doesn't know what it says. I know what I want to put, don't know what it says or how it's worded. But told you it's gonna be, this podcast is a good one. We did a craft fair last week, okay, bruh. So, should I call her a secret admirer? What you want to call like a fairy godmother? I'm gonna call her a fairy godmother. How about that? Okay. So we have a fairy godmother. We gonna call her that. And she lent us $1,000, right? $1,000. We took the $1,000 she lent us. We said, okay, we're gonna buy materials for a craft fair. This was last week, I think it was. Maybe a month. No, it was probably 2 weeks ago, right? Cause the stuff didn't come in, so it was probably 3 weeks ago. Damn. So okay, 3 weeks ago, she lent us $1,000. We took the money, and then it's two. Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, we took the money, put it into a craft fair. We bought all the materials, then bought the booth at the craft fair, which is $300 for the weekend. The materials, I don't remember. The materials might have been like what, $600 total.
Materials came up to, it was $300 for the booth. Materials was like $500.
So about $800 we spent just to get back into the craft fair. And bruh, if you have me on Instagram, you already know what's up. Okay, day number 1, numero uno. On Saturday, we made the most money we ever made in a craft fair ever. Right? We made $1,200 on Saturday. Actually, let me get the right exact amount because I'm gonna remember this.
I think it's $1,235.
Oh, facts. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you. It is. We made $1,235 in one day on Saturday selling candles. Now, this is crazy, right? What we try and do is we try to bring, I'm gonna give you the numbers how we do this. Each craft fair, we estimate that we're going to we bring 42 candles or so, something like that for each day, right? So that'll be about 84 candles. But shout out to my guy Neville. Let's see, birthdate.co. What is that? Come on, bro. I didn't even tell you about that time. I didn't even get there yet. Okay. On Saturday, we sold 59 candles. Okay. We bring 42 for each day. So that means the following day, we did not have the full amount. So what we did was we actually brought more on Saturday. And then we ended up selling out what we brought for Saturday. So we had less for Sunday. So what that tells me is we can still sell more on Saturday. And then on the following day, which is Sunday, we obviously made less because the inventory we had for Sunday, we sold on Saturday. So that means on Sunday, when we made an additional, let me get you the number. Hold on. I want to be exact. Actually, I'll put it on the screen because that's, how I get down.
I think it's 540.
540?
No.
Okay, what's your guess?
I think it's 545.
That's close. It's close. Ready? Okay. On Sunday, we made $585. Right? Now, here's a caveat to that. It was a slow day for us. Okay? It was slow. We didn't have inventory. And something else I didn't tell y'all. Okay, during this weekend we raised the price of the candles. Okay, they used to be $35. Now they are $40. No one cared. Not a single person. No one said this is too much. Honestly, there might have been one or two people who were like, wow, that's a good price.
Yeah, someone said it was affordable.
Right, someone said affordable. If you
what?
that's and so affordable. No, this is luxury. There's not affordability, right? So I'm like, isn't that crazy that we raised the price, no one cared. So like that lets us know the price that we have is too low. But we're at 40 right now. This is our first time raising the price, and it was just to kind of test the market. It was just to kind of test the market so that we could see like, okay, what they call it? I feel like you was watching something.
Market cap?
No. They call it like a price sensitivity to check to like see like, okay, let's raise the price and see how people react to it. Okay, they fine, and they keep doing that to see what the actual price point of that product is. So I think that the product price is closer to like 55 to what I think 55. Wait, before you tell me yours, I think 55 to 65. That's what I think. What do you think?
It's definitely around 60.
Okay, 60. Yeah. So that's where we are with the candles right now, bruh. I know I talked to y'all before about what my vision was or how I want to get to, I want to start buying businesses and wholesaling, right? Now, the reason I chose those was because I could not figure out how to get the candles to big enough. I'm like, okay, I know we could do a couple million with the candles. A couple million is not enough. Like that doesn't get me to my goal of $10 billion. So I'm like, all right, I can get there if I use the money from the candles to supplement our life. Then I can focus on, learning about buying a business and wholesaling. How we are set up right now, right? My vision and my goal for that has changed. Now I think the candles can encapsulate buying businesses and wholesaling. And what I mean by that is I think I figured out how to get to at least $1 billion with just the candles. And when I say just the candles, I mean the brand Ember Candle Co., which will probably be changed in a couple years from now, right? I'm like, I don't think that you can just sell candles and get there. But as I started thinking about it, I'm like, okay, we have 4 candles, right? Each candle, first of all, let's say we just put the candles in different places. We have the candles in stores. We have the candles at craft fairs. We're selling online just the candles, right? We expand that across the country and different states. I think we can easily do $1 million, several $1 million a year just off of the candle, just 4 candles by itself, right? Now, here's where I say it can get us to the $1 billion number and beyond. With the candles, there are different channels to sell the candles. So with the candles, you can do wax melts because some people don't like the fire of a candle. That way, now you have the safety of it without having to worry about the danger of the candle. You get the smell, you get the benefits of a beeswax candle as opposed to the toxic ones, and you can burn it in your house without actually having fire. You have scentless candle. Well, let me come back to that. You have that. You have incense. You have sprays. You have diffusers, and you have like the exfoliant for your hands. You got soap, right? So now we have 4 scents. So let's say I just said 5 things, right? So let's say that each one of those 5 things that I said is attached to each scent. So each scent has a spray, each scent has a diffuser, each scent has a incense. Each scent has a soap. Each scent has an exfoliator, right? So let's say we finally max out all of those things across the board. Now, again, we do this across the country in multiple stores and online. Now, here's the thing. Certain products I just named, like a diffuser, like incense, and the candles, are refillable, which we're going to get to later. So now you can refill those products. Now you're buying the product every year or every month, whatever the case might be, right? That gets us to, in my opinion, 30, 60, 70, 80 million, something like that. Some higher than 50 million in my opinion, right? Here's the crazy part about it. We can add a new collection, a new 4 set of candles, and repeat that whole process. So we add the new 4 set, the new set of 4, we expand that across the country by itself, just that. Then we bring in the spray. Then we bring in the diffuser. Then we bring in the incense. Then we bring in the soap. Then we bring in the stuff. Then we do that, right? And once we max that out, which now is probably another couple, at the time, over 100 million, right? We can do it again. Now, here is the thing that I was not thinking about before. There's no politics to candles, right? And what I mean by that is, there's no one, unless you're really going in that route, you don't buy a candle and feel like you have to be politicized when you buy that candle. So we can sell the candle in other countries without worrying about having to deal with, like, oh, if you are a movie, we don't like that kind of content in our place. Or you have a car that tracks people, has an app that has, backdoor this and backdoor that. We don't want that here. We have a same like with an iPhone or with Facebook or Twitter or Tesla or Google, whatever these companies are, they aren't allowed in certain countries. We have candles. Your country will not fall because you buy a candle from us. So now we can take the candles and put it in multiple other countries. And this is, again, like I said before, imagine it by step 1. You have just the candles, you expand them, then you expand, let's say, I wouldn't do it this way, but you expand it across the world. Then that's when you add in all the other methods to sell it through, which would be, like I said, diffuser, incense, whatever. Do that, grow it to the countryside, then grow it to the world side. Then add new 4 cents, do the same thing, grow. And bruh, it gets crazy. It just gets crazier and crazier. And like I said, none of the things I'm really talking about are us. Well, it kind of is, but being in like stores, because we don't want to be in like big box stores like Walmart or like Target, TJ Maxx. One of the stores that we think really fits the brand is the Container Store, right? Now, let me just do a number real quick before I finish with this. The Container Store does $895 million a year. Okay, we like that market. We like where you're not the biggest and you're trying to do affordability pricing, where people come here, they like your product, it's a great product, the quality is good, and they have money who come here. Because nobody with no money is buying stuff from the Container Store. You're going to Dollar Tree, you're getting a bucket, and you're going back home. You go into a Container Store, you gotta go, I want a nice container for my house. I want to get something that looks nice, that feels good when you come into my house. You know what fits into that? The candle brand fits right into that. And those people have money to pay $60 for a candle. Once they buy the candle, they can refill it. Once they refill it, they can have a spray. If they like that scent, they can have the soap, whatever. They can just go crazy with it if they want to. So then, what I was saying earlier about encapsulating other businesses, now we can buy other businesses. An example of that would be buying bee maker, like not bee, but like honey making companies that have bees or whatever. Let them do their bee thing. We take the wax, and we find a profitable company that works with bees. Listen, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. If y'all need an influx of money for something to grow, we give y'all that. But we just want the wax. Just get us as much wax as you can, and we will do that. We can also do that across the whole spectrum of the candles. I think it's called vertical integration. It might be vertical integration, or I don't know what the other one is called, but maybe it's horizontal. But either way, we can integrate those businesses for us. I think it's vertical. And I can still get into buying profitable businesses. And then if it comes to wholesaling, now, like I said, wholesaling, I might, like I said, for me, I think it's a personal vendetta because I haven't done a deal yet. That's probably the real reason why I want to do it. But I still like real estate, and I think that it's a great cash flow and business to do on the side. Like, I think to have it where it's like, okay, you grow it, blow it up, whatever. Now, as I say that, okay, I have this theory about business that I came up with yesterday. I was in the bed thinking about the candles, and it hit me. Okay, all of the popular things right now on YouTube are like multiple streams of income, have multiple businesses for safety and security, right? And passive income. These are the things that like the buzzwords for social media. And a lot of successful people, or like uber hyper successful people, say only focus on one thing, right? However, people like me, people like Melissa, it just never sits right with us. And I also feel like our generation feels the same, where it's like, I don't want to just do one thing, right? So I was in the bed thinking about it, and I'm like, people who are very successful say to do that, but somehow we have this like itch to not do that. What is the middle ground? What is the solution for that, right? And I'm like, okay, I think for me right now, it is each and every single product is its own business, okay? So as within the candle space, within Ember Candle, each particular, we have room service, do not disturb, wind down, and people watching, right? Each one of those is a product, right? Each product is a business. If we grow each scent individually, it operates separately like a business. The income streams would be how we diversify that candle. So do we only sell it at craft fairs? Do we also add in, like I said, the other ways to sell it, which would be the scents, diffusers, whatever, the sprays, all those things? I think, and this is my thought as of now, I think the ability to do those multiple things, for me, excites me as much as having multiple businesses. And it also gives me the energy to want to go and do multiple things within that one space. And the bigger we get, the more we become other things, similar to Amazon, where it's like, okay, Amazon only sold books. Now, if I ask you what Amazon does now, you say everything. They do everything. And it's like the bigger we get, the more Ember Candle, and it'll probably become Ember, turns into something else. It becomes like a bigger thing. We start getting into media marketing because we have to market the candles. So now we have a division or an arm that focuses on that. I can now say, oh, I have an agency that does this. We have products. We have a lot of other things that come into it. So, and then again, like I said, there's adding in the singing or adding in playing basketball. We can use those things to, pay for that. But it's just a very interesting thought that I have, because I want to do multiple things, right? And I feel like most people do, and in our generation, we feel like we shouldn't be stuck to one thing. And I always hate when people say to do just one thing. I'm like, no, I will be bored by doing one thing. I don't feel that way right now. I feel like I would not be bored doing this. So I'm curious, what do you feel about that?
About doing what?
About,
like, if I just focus on the candles?
Yeah, let's say that.
Does not work for me.
Okay, so what do you mean does not work for you?
Well, I mean, I guess you said that it would go into the other things too. Like what you mean? Like, if this was like my main job? Like, what do you mean by your question?
Okay. Do you think you should have multiple separate businesses, or one business that has them underneath it?
Probably the second one.
Okay, why do you say that? Why do you say that?
I don't really know any businesses that are truly separate, like big ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're typically under the umbrella of something else that's owned by some super company like Unilever or P&G or Procter & Gamble or blah blah blah. I don't think any company that's actually big is actually just that company by itself.
Mm-hmm. So another thing I was thinking about too, now you could tell me how you feel, we're talking about the music. I think of Rihanna and Beyonce as the people.
Yeah. In terms of what?
Well, I don't know how big Beyonce's clothing thing is, but I know Rihanna has Fenty.
Fenty crazy.
So now, but here's the thing though. Was she doing music while she had Fenty?
I have not seen a single album since Fenty products have come out.
Okay. So now here's my thing. What is your goal with music? Like what do you see that as? In your mind, close your eyes. What do you see? And tell me that thing.
I see.
Yeah, eyes still open.
Because I already know my answer.
So then why you not telling me?
Because I'm thinking of how to express it.
That's too much. I don't need all that. I just need you to close your eyes and tell me the stuff. That's what I need. Your eyes still open. I still see you. You're not listening. Just close your eyes and tell me. That's it. Okay. You see, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. That's the problem I have, because you try not to say it, because you being what Sarah said. Insecurity is showing, Melissa. Insecurity is showing. It's loud. So now close your eyes and tell the people what you want, how you want, what you want to see yourself. Okay, we ready. We all ready. We're listening. We cannot hear you. I have the mic. I can't hear you on here. We can't. Can y'all hear her? I know I can't hear her. She's whispering.
I want to perform. I want to go on tour.
Now what you want to do? What do you see? What do you see?
That's what
okay. I'm listening.
Going on tour.
Your eyes still open, but
concerts.
Okay.
Albums.
Okay. How big? Give me some sizes. What are we doing?
That's what I was thinking about.
Okay. So.
Right.
What we got? Let's go.
Kind of big.
Like what?
I want to do Drake numbers or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Number ones.
Okay. So now another thing, Drake has stuff too, which is kind of interesting, but he did his in reverse.
Yeah.
He did music first and the other ones afterwards.
I mean, Rihanna technically did that too.
Yeah, I know, but I know that. I'm saying you're on the other side. You have business and then the other one. So, because I think that you would fall into a category like Queen Naja.
In terms of what?
She got most of her following from YouTube, not from singing. So I think because we have the YouTube channel, because we'll be making money from the candles, you will be, and similar with DDG, you will be in a situation very different to other people who are in the music industry, because you have a lot of money and you'll have a following because of the channel.
Are you talking about like having leverage going into it?
Leverage going into negotiating with not labels per se, but if you want to feel bigger, definitely go with the label, but again, you don't have to do that. And the other thing would be if you go to a venue, but that would be harder to do. Well, depending on what you start off small and then grow it, people will come out, they'll know you have numbers. But if you have a label, they'll just blow you up, put you everywhere. But you have money now, so you say, hey, all I need you to do is just distribute whatever, put me in your channels of marketing, and that's it.
I'm excited.
So, but yes, and like I said, so that is what I see us doing going forward right now. So the fairy godmother, it was a loan for the money, right? Shout out to you, fairy godmother, if you're listening. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. And once we got the 1,000, Melissa went, gave it right back to her, and she said, listen, keep it, go do another one. So now we do another one in 2 weeks. And she's not concerned about getting it back as fast. So that way we can keep flipping the money. And if we're making $2,000 in a weekend, that drastically changes our circumstance very, very quickly. Like very, ridiculously quickly. If we do 2K every weekend for a month, that's 8K in our account of that we created, as opposed to a loan from a bank, as opposed to a loan from anybody. There's no interest attached. It's just, we made this money, we generated it, we have income. And that's just me and Melissa doing it 8 days out the month. So, bruh, this shit is crazy. I feel like because I'm on the other side of it, it feels like a thing just switched. You just kind of flipped the switch. But bruh, we've been here with episode 127, so it ain't just been, it ain't happened overnight. This is just a thing that's, even the candles honestly have been around for a year. The candles started 1 year ago, honestly, probably around this time,
right, in August,
right? So 1 year ago this month the candle started, and now we're here. And next year we are going to be in a very different spot. And like I said, the candles thing is crazy. We will make enough money to hire people to do the craft fairs, and if we wanted to, you know how I operate, so this wouldn't work for me. But if we wanted to, we could hire someone for the craft fairs and never work. And we just pretty much just get paid from that. And we would still probably make $3,000 a month while we do nothing at home and just go and spend the money. We could do that. I'm not going to, but that's always an option. So shout out to the candles. Now, on a less brighter note, Okay. So I know we're not in the best situation, obviously. Even with the candles being said and the house being sold, we're still trying to get our stuff together. But I got an email like 2 weeks ago, and the email I got 2 weeks ago was like a stop and decease, if you want to call it, I guess, from Turo. You look surprised.
Right, I didn't know what you were talking about. Because you be telling the story like, whatever. Because I'm like, damn, what happened? What we have to stop at this? Oh, you talk about that?
So, yes, we got that letter about 2 weeks ago. So I'll read that letter to you guys here. And, because I'm going to be honest with you, this shit kind of crazy. I was not expecting this. I'm not going to lie to you. I was not expecting this at all. So pretty much the email states, lien notification. Hello, Bamboo. Turo has received the attached lien notice that appears to be related to your account. This legal document requires Turo to place a hold on current and future payments to your account and forward any held funds to the lien issuer. Okay, please contact the issuer of the lien with any questions, and note that Turo will be unable to remove the hold on your account until or unless we receive notice from the lien issuer that the lien is canceled. Best, Nathan. Okay, it says enclosed is the second half of the lien notice, and then there is a lien. There is the contract or whatever that they are saying that I signed. So let me see. What's the first one look like? Yeah, so this is the first one. It says notice of enforcement of the UCC 1 lien rights. Immediate action is required. Oh, this is. I know this person. That's funny. I remember him. I think we spoke on the phone once. And they are saying that I owe them $21,300, I think it is, but I don't know what the amount left over is. So maybe that's what it says at the top. That's what I borrowed allegedly, but I don't know if that is what is. I don't know if that's true or not. So but guys, I just want y'all to know that shit crazy. I seen that shit. I was like, oh my god, this is real. This should be happening. So we are now in the level of like legal business. We this is our first legal something another lawsuit. I don't know what you want to call it, but let's say we are prepared for it. We are now in a state where, like I said, the goal is done. The goal was to survive. We have survived and got to the end of the tunnel, and we have figured out a way to solve all our problems. So, and at this point, we like, yo, listen, we don't have the money now. We working, and me and Melissa will be able to afford to eat, laundry. I said eat, right? Eat, shower, all the good stuff. Pay off the car note, because the car note gotta get paid. That's 3 months behind. Insurance 3 months behind. Everything's behind. Everything that we have, everything that you could think that we have, credit card payments behind, everything. And this is what I've learned. Okay, now I would not suggest this to do to everybody, right? I wouldn't suggest it only because I don't know what your tolerance level is. Because if you ask Melissa, it might have been. How you feel like it was? Was it hard for you?
If what was hard for me?
The life that we've been living over the last. Would you recommend that to people to like not pay stuff?
It's not as bad as they make it seem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah, I think this is what I think. Y'all remember that when COVID came, right? So pretty much, I think a lot of the wool over people's eyes when it comes to America is the fact that, and maybe even every country, pretty much, it's the illusion of everything is working just fine. Just, hey, don't look over here. Just look over at this thing. Don't look at this thing. And we're just going to keep doing this system, right? And I think it's very similar to with debt. If there is not enough people there are not enough police officers in any state to arrest everyone if they all started committing crimes. There is none. There's not enough. They don't have enough. They make it seem like they have enough, but they don't. Same thing with the hospitals. They said we got overrun. This is what they said, at least. We're overrun by hospitals. Now, actually, I heard something funny enough recently that said that's not true, but that's what they told us. They said all the hospitals there's so many people in there, we can't work or whatever. But it's like, what do you mean we don't have enough hospitals? How does that work? Like, what do you mean by that? Same thing with debt. Okay, I learned this early in my life. There is a grace period that I like to operate in, right? With most of the things in my life. When it comes to debt specifically, if you don't pay your whatever card it is or whatever loan you own or whatever the thing is, they're gonna, hey, we trying to make sure everything is fine. You know, we want a month off. We'll give you a month off. You need 2 months off. That's fine. We'll give you 2 months off. Just give us $10 now, and you could just keep pushing it back further. So, but they want you to send them money. Just don't stop paying. And even if they stop paying, they can't force you to pay. Like that's what they want to do to scare you, to make you think that you have to pay it. But in actuality, like, they cannot force you to pay anything. They cannot do that. Now, they can start taking money out of your accounts and things like that, but there's always ways around different things to do. There's a grace period in all of these arenas, and I've learned that with everything. Okay, if you don't pay Netflix, here's the funny thing, right? Have you ever canceled an account for anything and they go, hey, you want 3 months free? And it's like, why did you offer this to me up front? Why I gotta do this and then cancel to get 3 months free? It's because they are trying to keep you. Same thing with these people who are the debt collectors. A lot of people don't know this. When you have a debt, to a credit card, whatever, they go, you know what? We write it off our books. We don't care about it no more. We're going to send it to John Collection Agency down the block. Let him deal with it. If he gets paid from it, he give us a piece. He keep the rest of it. That's how they work, because they don't care. They don't care. Everybody's eating. If I don't pay, I get to eat. The big companies is eating because they do it on volume. How many people are going to be afraid to not pay? And then in the middle, you have the people like the collection agencies who are like, hey, I can help you out, get some money back. I'll call them up 25 times a day, because I'm like, the bank is not trying to call you 25 times a day to get back $3,000. They're not trying that. It's literally statistically for them a waste of time. If they're making billions of dollars to spend time calling up everybody every single day 25 times a day, they have to pay somebody to do that. They can have that same person doing something completely different, making money for the company. So that's something I just want to throw out there. But I definitely saw that thing. I was like, wow, they really be doing Turo liens or liens. I don't know. They called up Turo. I don't even know what they called up Turo. I don't even know how that worked. So now I had a couple of other, let me see. Hold on. What else happened last week? Okay. So also I want to shout out to my guy, Emmanuel. Shout out to him. I think he's in, do you know what state he's in? Is he in Ohio? I feel like he was in Ohio. Oh man, I can't remember. I forgot what state he was in, but he has been, supporting, it's a foundation called, hold on, let me make sure I get it right. Is it Dear Foundation Kenya? Oh, right. It's Dear Foundation Kenya. Okay. And pretty much what happens is they have an organization set up in Kenya where they help people with different disabilities that they have, because Emmanuel has, I believe it's pronounced cerebral palsy or cerebral palsy. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. But so because of that, he always wants to help anybody, anybody, honestly, but with children, he wants to donate and help as much as he can. And that is what he does with his time, because he also wants to, a lot of y'all don't know the story, and y'all would have to watch one of the old wholesale videos where I did an interview with him where we talked about it. But he just kind of explained why he wanted to get into wholesaling, to make money, to be able to support people who are similar to him. And in that podcast, I told him hey, if I ever get when I get enough money, I would want to build a hospital, because as y'all know, I never told y'all this, but I guess it's my first time telling y'all. So one of the reasons why I want to get to 10 billion is to build a city. That's one of the reasons why. It's not because somebody emailed me. I have to respond to that because I didn't. But if you're watching this will be for you to hear. The $10 billion number is not for me to have necessarily. It was nice, but it's more so what I think I'll need to build a city for people that I think they can functionally and healthily operate in. Why I say 10 billion is because I think there are things that come with that come with building a city, not just the infrastructure of it, but even like the culture of it, bringing other people in, having the right media, things like that. And I think even as far as people trying to attack it, and not I don't mean in a physical manner, but in terms of like just what is that called? Like the character of the city, right? I feel like I would have to have a platform big enough to be able to combat that. Similar how Joe Rogan is, where if they talk about him, he could at least get his own word out there. And I feel like 10 billion is the number for me to get there, to be able to support that and protect that kind of thing. So I had told him that I want to build a hospital because I think that would be dope. Like if I could help, because I always love solving complex problems, and I feel like that would be a complex problem I would love to solve. So right now he was telling me that he's been helping them with getting bed covers, and there was a kid that was in the program. I didn't give me the amount of time they were there, but while they were in the program, they were able to, when they started, they weren't able to walk, and then from then to now he's been helping them and supporting them. Now they're able to walk now. So I'm like, listen, I'm always for people getting better, doing better all the time, putting the work in and getting better. So I want to give a shout out to him for that because he's doing dope things. So Melissa's archnemesis was just signed to a record label, to Columbia record label. So yeah, like I said, we have a lot of work to do. The plan is still in motion. The plan is just for us to make enough money right now to be able to do the things we want to do. That was the plan, and we are in that direction. Part of that plan is make Melissa a super famous star singing. So once we have enough money, we could get her the singing lesson she wants, and start doing the beautify stuff where she feels good, feels better, and she'll be in a better position to deal with people because she'll have money. So it's like, hey, listen, I don't need your money. I just need your influence. That's all I need. So you can put me, come like DDG performed at freaking during the basketball game, and it's like, why? Just because he was signed to, I think he signed to Columbia too. So that's it. You called it from before.
I know.
I thought you said she can do a song with Beyonce. I feel like you said.
I think she listen. That's why she's my arch nemesis. That's the reason why. Y'all don't know who my arch nemesis is or the backstory behind it, but just know that I have him.
So yeah. And this is it's not necessarily on the list of things I want to talk about for today, but one of the things that I always kind of think about is me and Melissa from this perspective of we have differences. And I always wonder, is it better to be in a relationship with someone that is like the same as you or someone that has differences than you, right? Everybody, will have their opinion on what they think, and they'll have their opinion usually based off their experience to it and what they see in the media, like, oh, should opposites attract? Other people say, nah, be somebody with, who like the same things you like. But for me specifically, the reason I want to be with Melissa is because I felt like she was everything I wanted in a girlfriend or wife to be. So this is me proposing to Melissa right now. Okay, I'm getting down on my. No, I'm joking, guys. All right, but that is true. That is the reason why I wanted to be with Melissa. As we started dating, right, I'm like, damn, we seem like we're very different. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Was not expecting us to have these differences, right? So it's always the idea of like, what if I was with somebody that was exactly like me, right? And I was never able to really kind of like solve that in my head until the last craft fair, right? Now, the last craft fair for me was kind of solidified Melissa and I being different. So shout out to Sarah, because Melissa has her insecurity showing. Not right now though, but just in general. Because Melissa has a deep insecurity, right? And let me finish. Okay. And I don't. Okay. Now, on the podcast, I've talked about this before. Okay, I've said that to me, I don't feel like I have that like urgency to prove other people wrong or to prove something.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let me finish. Okay, so Melissa has that, and I've seen her use it multiple times where she will just keep going because she does not want to deal with the criticism of other people. Me, I don't care. I'm like, I know who I am. I know I'm great. I don't need the validation from anybody else to be great. Right? So what happens though is I just won't do certain things because I'm like, I know I could do it. I don't have to. And then if I do it, I succeed at it, or I do the thing. Right? So over the weekend, our goal was to hit, we wanted to pay back the fairy godmother. That was the first thing, which was $1,000. So our goal to hit $1,000. We did that in one day, in Saturday. So I'm like, all right, I'm chilling. Like I did 1,000. We're finished for the day. Right? Melissa's like, no, we gotta go. We gotta do more. We gotta do more. We gotta do more. And I'm like, the goal was 1,000. We hit the 1,000. Why we gotta do more? It's like, no, we gotta get to more. And I'm just like, I'm like, that never stops. Like, I know, we just gotta keep. I'm like, Melissa, the goal is if the goal you gave me was 1,000, and we did it for the weekend, and we did it in a day. She was like, well, technically we need 1,200 for the weekend because we got to put it for the loan frequency processing to see if we have enough money to process the Square loan. And I was just like, yeah, right, sure, but we're gonna absolutely hit it tomorrow. Like, we're gonna have the 200 tomorrow. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that tomorrow we'll hit the 200. So we're gonna hit it for the weekend. We're gonna hit that goal. She's sitting there like, eyes squinted, nose scrunched up, like, yeah, we can hit it today too. And I'm like, sure. I'm like, yes, we can hit it today. There's no reason for us to hit it today. Now, some of y'all may have heard this podcast before. I talked about it, where I feel like insecurity, for me, I've always viewed it as insecurity. That's how I viewed it. And I think it's obviously there, but I've switched it for me and my perspective. I think that it comes down more to a pride thing, right? And I think that, and I would just say that, even forget the insecurity part. I think it's a pride thing. And I don't have, it's hard to say, I don't know if I say I don't have the pride. I just don't be caring. So a lot of times you see people on shows say, hey, this person is too prideful to ask for help. This person is too prideful. I'm not. I don't care. My goal is to succeed. If to succeed, I have to swallow my quote pride, I will do that. If to succeed, I have to let somebody else lead, I will do that. If to succeed, I have to change what I'm doing or go back to something I said, I will do that. I will go, you know what? I made a mistake. I was wrong. I'm going to move forward. Because at the end of the day, once I get to the thing I'm trying to get to, I'm like, I don't care what you think. I got to where I want to get to. I don't really care. Because at the end of the day, the facts say I did this thing. Whether you said that you don't like how I said I was going to do the thing, and I did the thing. The thing is done. So, but however, what comes from that is, I don't say there's a ceiling, but I feel like there isn't enough pressure on myself to do something, right? So because I'm with Melissa now, she has that innate pride. We'll call it pride. She has this innate pride to just wanting to do more and do better and be better, right? Now me, once I establish that I'm better, I don't feel the need to do any more. Like when we were at the craft fair, we outselling everybody. No one there is selling. People, every time we do a craft fair, people are like, looking at us like, yo, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, how do y'all sell so much? Like, we got crack in the candles? What are y'all doing, right? And I'm just like, we're dominating, right? We are dominating. Melissa's like, no. We're not dominating enough. And I'm like, we are on top. Like now let me before I get there, there is one other brand who is selling a lot. I don't think they were selling more than us that day. People, listen, if you were to come to the craft fair and see our booth, it looks like a carnival. People are lined up waiting to be next to play the game. People are like, oh my, people are screaming, I won, oh my God, this was so much fun, it smells so great, this is great. And people next to us are sitting there like, damn, they're just looking at us. And it's like, we already at the top, right? In my mind, I'm like, ain't nobody doing candles at $40, $15 or whatever the prices are, and then doing 1,000 in a day with running out of stuff. But again, like I said, Melissa wants to do more. But as I digress. That's something that is not in me, right? So if I had somebody like me me and her would have been sitting down that day, like, it's 3:00. We done hit 1,000. I'm gonna go to the movie. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm good. She would have been like, facts. I'm good. We done. Right? There'd have been no urgency to go. Let's push for more. Right? And with the pushing for more, we're always. I don't want to say always because that's definitive, but we're gonna majority of the time get more because we're striving for more. It don't really make sense to me logically. It don't really make that much sense. If you give me a goal, hit the goal. Why we just extending goals for no reason? At that point, we're just making shit up, and I'm just like, I'm not involved in that because that's stupid to me. Like this is what I hate, right? Because this is my thing. It comes down to the control thing. I'm like, if I beat somebody in the game, right, and they go, well, you can't beat me again, and I do it again. You can't beat me again, I do it again. I'm like, we already know I'm gonna beat you again. We know more likely than not, I'm gonna beat you again. I don't have to keep proving to you I'm gonna beat you again. Melissa wants to keep playing over and over again to keep winning, and I'm like, I don't need to do that. I beat you 112 times in a row. I don't need to continue beating you again. But
because look, I'm telling you, if we hit $1,200.
This is what she talks about in the thing. But go ahead. Yeah.
Huh?
Go ahead. We listening. We all listening. We're listening.
If we hit $1,200, right,
yes,
and it's 2:00, and the day don't end till 6, run it up. It's not run it up. Run it up. What you mean slow down? Run that shit up. Run it up.
Listen, like I said, when I come from the basketball world, you're about 30, you sit the stars down. The stars sit down. The game is over.
He gonna keep shooting.
They take him out the game.
He gonna keep shooting.
Right. They got it. That's what I'm saying. And that's my thing. They're like, listen, you already won. So we got our goal. We hit the goal. And then my issue is always that we don't have enough for the following day. Because I'm like, if we sell out everything on Saturday, we go to Sunday, we're going to be standing there looking like fools. But then in Melissa's mind is like, oh, let's do something else then. Let's just try and get email. Let's try and get Instagram. Let's try. And I'm just like, this is how you end up on this treadmill of like never ending stop. So like I said, that is how Melissa and I you know what's funny? I don't necessarily want to say it balances us out. I think that it fills up the meter. So like, let's say that I need to get to a 10 and I'm at a 6. She will pull me up to a 10. But for her pride will not let her calm down. So she will always be trying to like worrying about what somebody's thinking about her. And I'm like, it's not that serious. You don't have to wait. Just bring it down from a 10 to a 6. You don't have to do that. And I think that it's not, like I said, it's not necessarily balancing us out. It's more so, I guess you call it that, but it's more so just like reaching out full potential, because there's a downside to both. There's a downside to being too lax, and there's a downside to being overly sensitive to stuff. And like I said, I just think that and a couple of weeks ago we were coming back from Philly, and I was just thinking about it, like, what if I dated somebody that was just like me? And I'm like, okay, we would in my mind never have arguments. That's like what I think. But that's probably very, very unlikely. And yeah, so and there would just be things that we just don't see. So like in my mind, that's the last thing I'm gonna say on it. Melissa and I are back to back because we're opposites, not opposite, but different. Somebody that is the same as me, we're both looking the same direction, so we can't see our blind spots. We don't know what's behind us. I can't see, like, how would I know if I'm being too lax if the person next to me is also lax? I have no idea. How would I know if I'm doing too much if the person next to me is also doing too much? We can never know until we're the same. So I think that's something that I have learned from the last craft fair. But so all the stuff I want to talk about, some other stuff I want to talk about for this podcast. The 2 weeks ago, right, at the craft fair, I wanted to tell you about the guy that I had. I think it was in the podcast. He had texted me about getting coffee, and they had did for the weekend. They did $2,800. Okay, they sell higher, more expensive products than us. They don't sell more than us. They just sell more expensive products. And that's the guy who texted me earlier. But we met up at a WeWork that he has in the city, right? If you don't know, it's like a building, and then they have offices in it where they rent them out, similar to Airbnb, but just for offices. Now, actually, I wouldn't even. That's a bad example. It's more like, yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's like Airbnb, but for offices. So we sat down, we talked, bruh. When I tell you, we was there for hours, just maybe like 3 hours. Maybe I'm tracking it. But we was there for hours though. And we was just having a great conversation. We was talking about business. We talked about anime. We was just talking about different ways to scale the candle business and different ways that we could just, because like I said before to y'all, he's actually a small business consultant. So he was just kind of giving me some game of what he feels like works and what doesn't work from his perspective. Now, here's why I'm bringing this up. Okay, here's the main reason I'm bringing this up. Other than the fact that he's a cool ass dude, and I feel like it would be cool. Melissa and him and his wife went on like vacation and this. I think that would be like a fun thing because they both love to design. They both love to create. Me and him both love numbers and business and methods and systems and stuff, right? So when I was talking to him, right, I was like, yo, I think I can get the candles to 1 million next year. He kind of was like, 1 million? I was like, I don't know if you could do that. I was like, wait, what? See, that's what it is. My pride will kick in because nobody be challenging me. That's the problem. But he was like, what you mean? And I was like, yeah, I could probably do 1 million. He's like, I don't know if you could do that. I was like, wait. Like, you serious? He was like, yeah, it's going to be really hard. I was like, okay, let me break this down. Like, now we start talking about it, right? I'm like, listen. Right now, I'm gonna give you the numbers too that we gave in that conversation and how we're gonna get to 1 million. Right, here we go. I'm gonna give you the numbers. For us to get to $1 million in candles by the end of 2020, by the end of 2023, right? $1 million divided by 12 months, okay, is $83,333.33. Okay, that's each month we have to make $83K. Right now. How many days are there? I could do it either way, but there are 30 days in a month, right? So if I do divided by 30, okay, we would have to make $2,700. Let's just call it $2,800 per day to get to 1 million, right? So now the average candle, because the big one is 40, the small one is 15, so we break it into the middle. We got 27.5. Okay, so we need to make each day $2,777.77 to get to $1 million for the year. Now, divide that number that we have to make per day by the average amount of the candles. All right, here we go. 27.5. All right. 101 candles per day we have to sell on average. And I say that because if we sell big ones, we sell less. If we sell small ones, we sell more. So depending on how we move in, and honestly, funny enough, I actually have the number. So we actually do about 75% small, and we do about what is that? We do about 25% big, right? So that means that if we do 101 candles, we probably would sell 75 small ones and 25 big ones. Okay. So now if we sell 75 small candles, that will be 75 times 15. That's 1125. And then we do 40 times 25. So 40 times 25 is 1,000. 1125. That will put us at $2,100. So we would need an additional $600. So for that, if we sold 100 candles that way, so we would probably have to get to, we need another what? 600. So either another 10 big ones per day. Let's say 15 big ones per day, or an additional 600 divided by 15, 40 small ones per day. Okay.
How many a day for you?
We could do 101 per day if the candles were $27.50. $27.50. You're right. So I did the average, right?
Oh, we could do that easy.
Right, but here's the thing: if we sell 100 candles, it would have to be more big than we sell now. Because right now, on average, we sell 25% big candles. And at 25% big candles, we are only making $2,100 per day. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, which I think is crazy. We did 1,200. But either way, I digress. So we have to sell probably about 120, 130 candles a day, right?
I feel like we could do that easy.
Right.
Chelsea.
So now the other market that we could go to is in Chelsea market, is in the city. Now they have the market there allows you to be there 7 days a week, right? So they are way busier than where we are at right now, right? And I was told recently that they don't have any other candles there. Okay, so they have no other candles there. There's way more foot traffic, and we can still raise the price of the candles by then, right? So now we'd have to just sell 100. Let's call it 120 candles to get to $1 million per day, right? Remember what I told y'all earlier. The wick trimmers that we will sell will be about $10 to $15. Okay, so if we sell one wick trimmer with every sale that we do, because you buy a candle, why not get a wick trimmer? If you don't have one, you're gonna need one. If we're doing 100 sales at $10 per sale, and I said 120 earlier, we just made an extra $1,200 on top of the original $2,100 we sold from just doing the candles. So the candles by itself do $2,100, and then on top of that, you would have an additional $1,200 from the wood from the wick trimmers, right? That's $3,200. So now let's say we're doing that for the year, consistently for the year, because some years some months are gonna be higher, other months will be lower. $3,200 per day times 365 days is $1.1 million, right? Now, here's why I said I think we could hit $1 million. The numbers I just gave you is if me and Melissa were to work the craft fair at Chelsea Market by ourselves every single day for the year. Now, yes, that's unrealistic, right? Of course it is. This number I gave you does not include online sales. The number I gave you does not include the refills for the candles. The number I gave you does not include doing any other markets for the year. None of those things are included in that. This number does not include if we do any affiliate marketing. Shout out to Sarah Alaba. Y'all know who she is. Go follow her.
Doesn't include employees.
It does not include having other people work there and then we go to another place and sell. It does not include us selling in another state. Nothing. That is just if me and Melissa were to work at the craft fair by ourselves for every single day of the year, me and her could do $1,000,001 by ourselves, right? So when he said to me I couldn't do $1 million, I'm like, bruh, if we implement all the things that I want to implement, we would blow past $1 million. So $1 million is easy. Like $1 million is very easy in terms of just getting the sales. If we scale out in terms of how much orders we do and how much money we make per craft fair now with the foot traffic we're currently getting, and the other places have more foot traffic, like Grand Bazaar has more foot traffic, and this is only if we're doing one craft fair. If we did 5 craft fairs, right? Now like I said, I'm gonna just be nice. So right now we at 1.1, just Melissa and I selling every single day. Okay, at Chelsea, right? Keep write these numbers down for me, please. Right now we at $1,168,000. Okay, this is my business, but I love business. All right. So now, when we were at Chelsea, let's say we're doing let me think, 1,800 for the weekend. Let's say we do 1,800 for the weekend. This is low, by the way. 1,800 for the weekend times 52. That's $93K, which is every Sunday. All right. So now we have, let's say that one will probably do about 1,000 a day at that one. So 1,000 times 52, 52,000. Okay, that's the one at Grand Bazaar that we did, which has crazy foot traffic every Sunday.
Wait, 52. Wait, you're saying 1,000 a day at Grand Bazaar?
Yeah.
That's low.
I know it's low.
Yeah.
We did 800 there our first day. We didn't even know how to sell anything.
Right.
So I gave 1,000 because it'd be easy.
Winter time.
In the winter time outside with nobody up. Listen, it was.
In the winter.
I'm trying to help his case by saying we can't do $1 million in a year. Okay. So that's just those 3 fairs.
He's just ill-informed.
He is, obviously. That's just those 3 fairs, right? And that is not including selling the wick trimmers at the other craft fairs. What number we at, babe?
You want me to add them together?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to see where we at. Because like I said, you going to tell me I can't do $1 million in a year? Bruh.
It was 93,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one was 52.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1,313,000.
So we at 1.3. And get this. That's not if we put the candles in stores or wholesale the candles or go to the state and sell the candles. What do you mean I can't hit $1 million? What do you mean? Come on, bro. You don't know my body. Listen. Flip the house with no money. I'll get shit done. All right. It's on my resume now. All right. But like I said, shout out to him. I love that guy. And funny enough, I never say that about men. Like I never say that about men. I love them. That guy is we just had great conversation. Like it was just so much fun. And I'm looking forward to our next conversation. And he sent me. Listen, he don't know. Funny enough, he looks older than me. Well, he's younger than me, which is even crazier. It's just insane. He texted me and he said, look at it. Look what he sent me. Look what he sent me. He trying to compare us to this, Melissa. Like we some type of novelty item. Like we a novelty candle. He sent me a candle called, it says, inspired by the stars made just for you. Starting with your birth date, we craft personalized products perfect for every occasion. Like, come on, bro. Over 10,000 5-star reviews. That's it? How many candles y'all sold? Following along for, maybe I'll look into this some more. But I think that they don't got what we got. We got us. So that's that. Now, before I move on to the next and most likely final thing, what was I going to say about the candles? Oh, I have this idea, and I haven't looked into it yet, but I believe that there are less than 5 billionaires who got there and were not married. I think they're less than, and not 5%, like 5. Like, I don't know any billionaire I think of that comes to mind was married. Don't know what that means?
Right. Yeah,
I'm just.
You want to know what it means? It means
they all cheated. They all cheated though. No. So remember that part.
Oh, you know what I'm going to say next?
I don't, but remember that. What are you gonna say? Go ahead.
You know it's funny.
What?
Well, either way, they weren't afraid of commitment when they made their vows.
Oh. But I just think there's something to that. I don't know if it's like focusing on one woman or the commitment ability to get married means you have the ability to commit to, other things in your life. I'm not sure, but I do think it's very interesting that is kind of what happened. You think of all the big ones: Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Cuban, the realist, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, everybody. All of them, every single, like, and I could be naming just the ones that have. I don't know the ones that are billionaires that don't have. Jay-Z is married. LeBron is married. They say Drake is a billionaire, but he probably not until he gets married. So I don't know. They say he is. Well, Rihanna, is she married now? They're not married. They have a baby, but they're not married. But she's a woman. But either way. I don't really know. I gotta look harder. I'm gonna Google it real quick. Okay, 16 billionaires who are single. Jack Dorsey. Okay, was he ever married? Can you Google that for me, babe? Just Google if Jack Dorsey was ever married. Can you Google if Jack Dorsey was ever married? The guy from Russia who owns the Nets. A lot of women on this list. A lot of women. Nicholas Bergen. Who the heck is this? I don't know who this man is. Leslie Alexander. He's a stock trader, owns the Rockets. It says that he is not married. What happened? David Thompson. This guy is a chairman of Thomas Reuters. His 25 billion. Nah, like I look at him. That's suspicious. 25 billion, no married. 64. Like, is he single now? Maybe he was married before. Xavier Neal. There's mad billionaire women who are not married. Maybe they're single because they got broken up with. But yeah, that's a very interesting thing. I'm gonna look into more because I think there is something there. Okay. So now I'm gonna go on to episode Playback from last week. I'm in a podcast with that. Like I said, I like keeping a podcast around an hour and 12 minutes. Bruh, last week y'all was going in the comments. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, y'all was on fire. The comments was on fire, like on fire is what the comments were. I'm trying to think. Let me see. I'm gonna let Melissa go first. I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think about the comments that you saw and you read from last week's podcast? What are your thoughts?
Why want to know my thoughts?
Because you are a valuable component to the podcast and to my life, and I think that people want to hear what you have to say. So,
leave my man
no,
alone.
don't say that. Don't say that one.
I think that my main thing is that I sometimes I don't know if I'm not explaining myself properly. And I get frustrated when I feel like what I'm trying to say is not being received. Yeah, I hate broken communication. I hate when I'm putting out a signal, I'm expecting you to receive the signal and you are not receiving it. It seems like because it doesn't mean that you don't receive it. It means that you want to. In my head,
I know what you're gonna say. Right, go ahead.
That means that you don't understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And it is very possible that you could understand my opinion and disagree with me.
Yes.
But that don't make no sense to me.
Pride. It's pride. It's pride, guys. That's pride.
But doesn't make any sense. Obviously, you must be
mentally ill. It's like something's wrong with you. What you mean you don't understand what I'm saying? Like what you mean you hear what I said, you understand, you disagree? How? That's preposterous.
And also, you know, I am a woman. And on top of that, me personally, I'm a very emotional person. I don't like saying it because I feel like I don't think it's a positive thing, but I feel like I'm learning how to use it kind of more positively, or at least trying to understand when it's happening and why it's happening more. So I think that, you know, whatever. I'm supposed to be answering your question.
No, keep going. I like that. We was all here for that. We was all tuned in. We all here, close to the mic.
I feel like last week, you know, I was just trying to work through that. Trying to work through being emotional and not trying to target you specifically in a negative way. So maybe I ended up kind of targeting myself. Because like I said, it don't be making sense. If I feel like this is the right thing, right? And you say it's like, nah, like computing properly. And I don't want to blame you. So I have to then look at myself like, is it me? Am I the drama? Am I dunce? Is it me? And that's what happened last week. I think the comments I remember talking to you about it. I'm just like, okay, I'm just happy that nobody thinks I'm dumb. That's all I wanted. I just wanted that I wanted for the podcast to go out, and for me, like, if I saw in the comments, what the hell's Melissa talking about? I'm like, damn, funny. Sheesh. Then I would really have to go deep and reflect and really try to figure out what's wrong with how I think. So that was my main fear. My main fear was that I was being ridiculous and preposterous, and that would come out in the comments, and I would just be like, damn, what am I doing? So I was very happy to see that, you know, I did not I was very surprised, however, to see everyone's reaction to you. That did take me a bit off guard. Especially when the comments first started coming in. I was like, okay, damn. Another one, damn.
Bruh. Yeah. So my perspective, and to me it's always funny because I never really take myself that serious because I am very good with my thoughts. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me I'm wrong, I go, oh, okay, word. If I think I'm right, I'm gonna talk like I think I'm right. That's just what it is. So the comments to me, hilarious. Like a lot of them, I was like, what? You be thinking that? That's crazy. What? I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. But I do think this, and I think I was responding to I forgot who I was responding to specifically. What? No, Rock. I think I had one of the responses I had gave was like, maybe it was Sarah. I think it might have been Sarah, but it was pretty much like this. Both of the ideas work, right? And I wanted to challenge myself to choose the idea that I think worked the best, and that requires like peeling back other things. Like, you ever think like when you have usually when you're writing or doing something creative, they usually tell you to do this. What are you doing? Do not come over here. Do not come over here. Oh, you know what? Fine. Oh, like if you do something creative, like if you're writing or if you're designing something like a website or whatever you're doing, they always say like trim the fat, and it's the hardest part. Like when you get down to the last thing you have to do, you're like, everything looks so good. I want to make it. I want to leave it like this. Like, no, keep going, because the thing that's the final thing that you cut, that product you are left with is like, it's such a lean and amazing product that you really had to strip away all the things you could think of that really did not have any actual value to it. And it's like, okay, when we get down to two things that make us money, we got YouTube, we got candles. It's like, okay, these are both great. We're going to do both. But it's like, if we have to choose one, why do we choose that one thing? And I kind of started thinking about like that because of, like investing in stock and stuff like that. They just kind of tell you to really focus on, if you have $1, you got to spend $1. What do you think you'll get your best return from? And then also, and I think this is what I was saying to Dominique, was like, the other factors that come into mind are like, well, actually, the decision would change depending on anybody's circumstance or everybody's circumstance. So if somebody has more time, they may choose one thing. If they have less time, they may choose something else. If they have more energy, they might choose another thing. So it's like all those things play a role into choosing one or the other. So I just think it's very interesting that it could always change depending on, what you're thinking about. But this is my son. I'm gonna make the screen big. I can see my son. I love you too. But yeah, so last week was definitely was a fun one. You got to see Melissa and I just have our day-to-day conversations that we be having.
Yes, that happens.
That happens probably 3 times a day, which y'all saw on the podcast happens 3 times to 5 times a day.
But sometimes I am less emotional than that.
Yeah, sometimes. So you can find all of the behind the scenes content on our social medias. Mine is Donovan Gray, DonivanGray, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. Okay, you know what it is. # Bamboo Project 2022. Okay, listen, we said it's gonna be a movie this year. We got an incredible 4 months left. We did 8. We got September, October. We got 4 months left. We try to turn it into a movie. And with that being said, Bamboo Project out.